Alright guys, today I am going to teach you lesson 7-9, locating fractions on number lines. So we've done a little bit of work with this. We're just going to kind of add on to some things that we've already practiced. So before we start, we're going to do some mental math. So if you do not have a reader's notebook, or a math notebook, or your math journal and a pencil, you're going to want to go ahead and pause the video and grab those materials now. So here's our first mental math question. It says, on Monday, the bookstore sold 75 books. On Tuesday, the bookstore sold 125 books. The bookstore needs to sell 500 books by Friday. How many more books must the store sell? This is a multi-step story problem. So I want you to try to write a number model that includes parentheses and a letter instead of a question mark. Take a minute to try and do that. All right, so what I know is the bookstore needs to sell 500 books. So I'm going to need to think about that. Now, what I also know is they've already sold some books. So I need to figure out how many books did they already sell. So what would I do to figure out how many books they have already sold? If you said 125 plus 75, you'd be right. So 125 plus 75 is 200. Then I need to take 200 and subtract it from 500. So I would do 500 minus 200. Let's see my work on the next slide. So my number model looks like 500 minus, parentheses, 125 plus 75 equals B. B for books. I need to put the 125 plus 75 in parentheses because I need to do that first. So my second line would be 500 minus 200 equals B, and then 300 equals B. The bookstore needs to sell 300 more books. If I'm moving too quickly and you don't have work time, make sure you're pausing the video. Let's try another one. Our second story problem says a bookstore has 4 boxes of 20 books in each box. On the first day, the store sold 16 books. How many books remain to be sold? Take a minute and write a number story or a number model that shows the 2 steps that you need to do in order to solve this problem. Don't forget your parentheses and your letter. Okay, when I read the first sentence and it says they have 4 boxes with 20 books in each box, I know I need to multiply because each tells me to multiply. So I do need to take 4 times 20 to figure out how many books they have altogether. Then the store sold 16 books. So when they sell them, I take them away. So then I would need to subtract 16. Let's look and see what that would look like. 4 times 20 is first in parentheses, and then minus 16 equals B. 4 times 20 is 80, minus 16 equals B. And then 80 minus 16 is 64. So 64 books still need to be sold. All right, let's try another one. This is our math message today. This is just a little bit of a review. So let's think about this. The whole is the distance from 0 to 1. So here's 0, and here's 1. A whole is from here to here. Label 1/2 where you think it should go on a number line. So in your notebook, draw a number line and label 1/2. You should have put the 1/2 right here, halfway between 0 and 1. That would be 1/2. We split the 0 and 1, which is the whole, into 2 pieces because the denominator is 2, and we jump 1 piece. All right, let's look here. Can you put half on this number line? All right, so half, once again, will still go between 0 and 1 because 0 to 1 is the whole. So half on this number line is still halfway between 0 and 1.
Cool.
All right, today we're going to become experts at putting fractions on a number line. So let's start by watching this video.
I've seen that video. Silence your phone.
I asked my friend if she could help me find where to write 1/2 on the number line. She said,
First draw a line with 2 arrows.
then she sang a song. Here's how it goes. 0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the first mark. And 1/2 is what you'll find when you get that far. My stuffed animal can't talk, but I thought I heard.
Hey Ben, on the number line, where's 1/3?
I said first draw a line with 2 arrows. And hey, I know a cool tune. Here's how it goes. 0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the first mark. And 1/3 is what you'll find when you get that far. Then I texted my friend, what's to be done when the numerator isn't 1? She said,
Let's try to find 5/9 on the number line in like no time. Simply partition 9 parts from 0 to 1. Starting from 0, count 5, and at 5 nines we arrive. Ooh.
0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the 5th mark. And 5 nines is what you'll find when you get that far.
Let's use the number line to describe this pie. First count the total pieces, there are 5. 5's the denominator, all the parts, so 5 goes underneath the fraction bar. This number line goes from 0 to 2, but the fraction's less than 1, so here's what to do. Make 5 equal spaces from 0 to 1. Now the final step before we're done. The numerator is the one piece that's mine. After the first space, I'll write 1/5 of the line. Just remember this one tip in your minds. Always count the spaces, never the lines.
0 to 1 is the whole that we split apart. The denominator tells us into how many parts. Make a line that starts from 0 to the first mark. And 1/5 is what you'll find when you get that far.
When you get that far, yeah. When you get that far, yeah. Ha-ha.
Well, that was a fun video, so let's practice some of those skills that they were teaching us. So we're going to put the fraction on the number line. So the fraction we're going to put on the number line is 3/4. So we know that the bottom number, the denominator, tells us how many pieces to cut the number line into. So you should cut your number line into 4 pieces. When we do 4, we cut it in half, and then we cut those halves in half again. Then we need to jump 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So 3/4 should go about here on our number line. Label 3/4 on your number line. All right, next we're going to try 6/8.
Oh, it's easy.
Let's remember the 8 tells us how many pieces to cut our number line into. So for 8, I start with half, and then cut those halves in half again, and then cut those halves in half again, till I have 8 pieces. Remember, pause the video if I'm moving too quickly. Now this time I need to jump 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I land on the 6th piece, that is where I label 6/8. You should have noticed that 3/4 and 6/8 landed in the same spot because those are equivalent fractions. Now you're going to draw a number line and place 1 1/4 on the number line. Now this is a little bit tricky, and I wish that I could draw a number line on here. But let's think about what that would look like. So draw a number line from 0 to 2. You don't want to stop at 1 because when I see this big number 1, I know that my fraction is going to go past 1. So 1 1/4 is going to go after number 1. So draw your number line from 0 to 2. Now, 1/4 tells me I'm going to cut each whole into 4 pieces. So from 0 to 1, cut that in 4 pieces. From 1 to 2, cut that in 4 pieces. Now, you're going to start at number 1, and you're not going to worry about 0 to 1 because we know we went all the way from 0 to 1 and we went a little bit past 1 because that's what this number 1 tells us. Now starting at 1, you're going to jump 1/4, jump 1 piece, and that is where 1 1/4 goes on your number line. The big number just tells us what number we're after, so this tells me I'm past the whole 1. And 1/4 tells me how many parts past 1 am I. So I'm 1 part past 1 on the number line. All right, try that same thing with 2 1/3. So what do you think this time when I draw my number line? How many numbers should I go to? Should I stop at 1? Should I stop at 2? Maybe should I go to 3? What do you think? I think I need to go from 0 all the way to number 3. Because I know, because of this number 2, that my spot on my number line is going to be between 2 and 3. It's a little bit more than 2, but not 3 yet. So let's take our number line and cut each hole into 3 pieces because the 3 on the bottom tells me that's how many pieces in each hole. So from 0 to 1, make 3 pieces. From 1 to 2, make 3 pieces. And from 2 to 3, make 3 pieces. Now start at number 2 because the whole number up here is 2. And you're going to jump 1 piece. So jump 1, and you land at 2 1/3 on the number line. It's just 1 jump past 2. All right, you're going to practice a little bit of this today. So in your math journal, I want you to do page 241 and page 242. When you finish, take a picture and submit it on Seesaw. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.